Yeah, what's happening, my people? So I'm gonna try to do something different on the YouTube channel. I'm gonna record this with my phone and stuff, so that's why the recording is gonna look a little different. This right here is not how the end result is gonna look like. This is just the intro or whatever. So I do art and this and that. That's like a big component in my life or whatever. I like to think of myself as an artist, like in many facets of the word or whatever. But so just want to try to do, I don't know if I want to call this a tutorial or something, but just show like my techniques of art and stuff. Cause I see a lot of people online, like on Instagram and stuff. I see it on my stories, on the reels or whatever. I follow a lot of artists, and a lot of people, I know they do like bigger pieces than me, but I see them and it's be like, I spent a month on this piece and this and that. And it'll be like 20 days and I've seen them just do a nose and stuff. Like, my stuff takes a little while. Like, it takes like 6 to 10, 12 hours average. So I'll put on like podcasts and I'll do like a few little sessions, like maybe 2 sessions. The first session usually is like me doing the outline. Like, I'll do the outline of the work and just like add where things are gonna go. And then the next session usually is where I'm gonna color everything in. And that's usually with my like charcoal type work or whatever. So I've just got into the charcoal, but that's my favorite art as for the moment. I did watercolor, acrylic, and all that. To me, I never did like color too much. And I like the charcoal and stuff. I just like the end result, the hyper realism type. I don't go to super hyper realism, but I try to make it look pretty as good as possible. But I'm gonna show you a few of my little tactics and stuff, like my method and how I get my work off. So that is the purpose of this video.
Okay, to be honest, this right here is the hardest part to me. Just the outline. So I have my reference photo that I'm gonna be using. Like, I have an old iPod and iPad or whatever, and so I'm gonna be doing a 2-pot picture, and they have like the hoodie and stuff like that. Like, I'm just trying to get the basic outline. To me, sometimes I measure it out. Like, see, like I'll estimate like this is like so many inches or whatever, and this is so many inches or whatever. This time I'm gonna try to eyeball it. But this is the hardest thing, because if anything is off, it makes the final picture, it makes all the small details harder. But if you can get this close as possible, then everything else falls in line. So trying to see, okay, like this is right here, that, yeah. So, and you want to go real light on this first like little part, and then like later on you want to go over it like darker, for you can be more defined lines and stuff. But you want to go real light on stuff like this on your first little layer, because most probably you will erase a lot if you're trying to be like very perfect. Like, I'm trying to be as perfect as possible with this, and trying to see like the little nuances of the hoodie and where everything curves and etc, etc, etc. But once you get that, like the rest is like coloring and stuff like that, especially with the charcoal stuff. They got a lot of things with this. This should be an easy one, but usually when I say that, they usually be hard. But I see like a lot of darkness on this picture, a lot of blackness or whatever. And to me, that is easy, because with the charcoal or whatever, like a lot of like this right here, this inside part, like this, like a lot of this is just gonna be black. It's just gonna be black as hell. And then like the eyes and stuff like that, like this the face is pretty much only thing I'm gonna have to shade a whole lot of. This is gonna be pretty easy. All this right here is not going to be too much. It should be an easy project, except for I'm just gonna have to make sure that the face lines up the way that it should, the eyes, the nose, and that right there is gonna be the most difficult part. And then like all the black and stuff, that should be very easy. So just trying to get everything the way I don't think I went wide enough. I think I should have went a little wider with this. So it happens. It will be a lot of erasing and stuff, like trying to get it perfect. Like I see like the hoodie and stuff, the hoodie looks a little wider. Like I think the end result, I think it would have been too skinny or whatever. I want it to be as close as possible to the reference. So let me try and bevel it out a little bit more. And that is the thinking as far as this. In the next, I'm gonna try to show you a little bit more, and we're gonna speed it up. So it's been like maybe like 40 minutes I've been working on this, and I'm still trying to get like everything together. Like I'm mentally like putting where I think things gonna be. Like black, this is gonna be all blacked out, so I don't have to worry about this too much. This like little corners, this gonna be all blacked out. This gonna be all blacked out. That's a shadow. That's a shadow. That's a shadow. That's a shadow. That's gonna be all black. This gonna be all black. So like little pieces like that, that's pieces that I'm gonna have to just shade in. So it's nothing special right there. I started off with the lips. I had to get to the nose and stuff, and hopefully line up the eyes and stuff. Like just trying to make everything line up for whenever I get into the shading process. That's when everything is really gonna come together. But you gotta like envision it first and stuff. See how it's gonna go. It's all a plan. It's all a plan. It's kind of mathematics as well. I'm not good at math, but that's kind of how I think of it. I think of it as math, and think of like ahead of time. So I'm like, okay, the nose and stuff. Let me make sure. Hopefully, everything is gonna line up. Like, okay, so the nose should be like around here. Okay, the eyes should be like around here. So I'm like thinking of like the eyes and stuff, and like will it line up the way it should in the reference picture. So I'm thinking it should, and then we're gonna start shading. We're gonna start shading like the cheeks and stuff like that. So that's the process that I'm in right now. I'm kind of like plotting my next move. Okay, so now I've been at it for like over an hour, and now I think I have things kind of like lined up the way that I want them. Like this is gonna be shadows and stuff, like shading, etc. I think I got the eyes the way that I want them. Like it's gonna be, like it's very loose. It's very loose as far as things, because they're gonna have so much going on with the eyes. Gonna have the shading, gonna have the eyelashes, and this and that. This right here is gonna be like light shading and stuff. It's kind of like makeup. Like you're gonna have to put the makeup. It's gonna be like the foundation and stuff. You gotta blend it a certain way. And the keys to all of that, like you do so much with the pencils and this and that. Like it's still. You want brush work. You're going to want to use your brushes. They got like a knob. Like you can use that to blend things. A cotton swab. A Q-tip. Things like that. That's what you're going to need. Like as far as like the black part. Like, yeah, I'm going to do the black and stuff. I'm going to show you that I'm going to do the black. But what's going to make it the smoothness will be the Q-tips and stuff like that. That's how you get the smooth look in the textures that you want. That's going to be next. Okay, now it's time to start adding the black values to the picture. And got a little charcoal pencil and stuff. This comes from the dollar store. This whole kit, I've made beautiful pieces with this. This comes from the dollar store for $4. So it doesn't take $1 million worth of art equipment and stuff to do things. And the way I'm going to do the black is, look, people think, it's magical and this and that. Is not. Like the blacks, like you see, I'm just very loose with it. It's nothing too spectacular. Just getting some simple blacks off. I could press harder, but like I'm gonna just go pretty light with it. Right off top. Just get some of this black out of the way. And you see how it's rough. You see that roughness and stuff. Like you see that white in between and all that. Like the way to get it smooth, like you want to lay it down and this and that. Want to get your blacks off. But let me try to get a little more surface area. Like you see, I'm not doing nothing special. Just very pretty, you could say pretty lazily laying that black down. But when you want to get it smoothed out, see, the more you do that, it becomes one. It starts to blend in more. I'm going to make this darker as well. I'm going to go over it a little bit more, but like, just want to show you the process. Now I'm going to speed this up. I'm going to do like a hyperlapse or whatever. Just show you show myself putting the black values and stuff for you to see. Okay, so with this stage, I've been at it for a good little minute. You see, I put like a lot of the dark values and stuff. You see, a lot of this is rough. Like this is gonna be like a bottom shadow and stuff. This is gonna be some little shadows. All that's gonna be blended. Like that. Still, I gotta put that black and stuff. A lot of this black now it's gonna start being the tedious. So. It's starting to have a lot of black on the canvas or whatever. So now I gotta put something over so I won't smear. Cause once you start putting it down, once it starts to have black on it, it will smear everywhere. Anytime you touch, it will go everywhere. So now these little parts, I'm about to start having a blend. Start having a blend just to make it all the way black. So, this is the stage. I gotta do it. I'm gonna have to do that with every little part. And there are parts like I can probably do this more efficient, like with things like this and stuff. But they have so many little small parts on the edges that I really don't want to get that on there. So that's why I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it mostly with this. So that's the stage that I'm on right now. But you see the progress of the picture. So brother, still blending, still adding my layers and stuff like that. Like you see now, this is smooth. You see, like when it's dark, and then like I'm doing all this and stuff and making it smooth. But then that same thing, you see why I put like this rough and whatever. Like I'm gonna do the same blending. But since it's not as dark, it's gonna end up the way that I want it to. Like since it's not so dark, just a few little lines in the charcoal or whatever and stuff. Now this is gonna be like a lighter piece or whatever. As far as like the hoodie won't be super black on this, I'm going to make it a little bit darker, but you see the thinking behind it. Like just putting a little bit just to now start making those layers and stuff like that. The nose, like I got to blend that shadow. So getting that shadow together. You see that? The lips. Pause. So getting that together. And then the lips and everything. Now, I'm almost about to start going into details. Like I'm still in big shadow elements. Like I'm going to get the jacket and stuff. It's going to be like similar to this. Like the way I'm going to shade that is going to be similar to that. But the details, that's going to be different whenever I get to the face and stuff. But all this clothing and stuff, this isn't hard stuff. It's just tedious stuff. Just to get the blend the way that you want it to be. So I'm still in detail mode. Putting little small stuff. See the shading, etc., etc. So getting that together. I'm gonna make this a little bit darker or whatever. But look, just want to show you like little details and stuff. Like this is like felt or whatever. So I just put some dots. Put some dots for darker areas and stuff. Little marks. You could go over that a little bit. Like just a little bit of extra shading. Go lightly over it and stuff. So it's starting to come together. Like you can tell that this is some material just because the dots. You can tell it's a different texture or whatever. That's the goal of it. So little details, man. It's starting to come together, man. You see, just with the shading and stuff like that, it's starting to get some pop to it. Because whenever you start it off and you have just the outline of it, it looks so plain. It looks like it ain't gonna be shit. But the shading and everything, that's where the magic happens. That's where it starts to become something. Become 3D. Okay, so we still at it. And this right now, I want to start putting in like little small details. And since we got the charcoal with a lot of black and this and that, use this like micro eraser stuff. And that's how I'm going to get some of the fine little small details. I'm trying to look to see where I need to. Just drop a little bit right there so you can see a little like contrast between that and the shadow and stuff. A little edge work. A little something. So that's how you get some of them fine lines and stuff. You also use this like for hair and stuff. And there is no hair on this picture. It is Tupac. So that is a plus. Definitely a plus. That I don't have to do any hair. It's something that a lot of people want to know how to draw. It's not super hard, but it's another tedious thing. So I'm happy not to have any hair to deal with. So just little small little pieces that I'm trying to find to put the little details on. Nothing super special, but just showing you like how to do it. And you can keep like a little sander or something So whenever it gets too black or whatever, it doesn't do what it needs to do, you can kind of bring it back. I'm putting like a little extra lines there I don't necessarily need, but just I'm just playing around right now, just doing a little small-ish, but there that goes. Now this is one of the most exciting parts of the project, and I'm gonna try to do this simple. Like I was thinking about how I do everything different. So this picture right here, the way I'm gonna try to start, I'm gonna try to start with a light little base of charcoal. You see how I can do this. As far as the first like skin, try to make it like kind of even, smooth. Do that with a large cotton swab. See, it's coming together a little bit. I'm trying to be fancy and go with this. Go with this brush. So this right here went darker than I wanted it to be, but I'm going to remedy that. The way I'm going to do that, I'm just going to start off with the charcoal, so it don't really matter too much, because I was thinking I was going to do more shading with this brush, but end of the day, I'm going to go back to the Q-tip. So I'm going to even a lot of this out with the Q-tip. So I'm gonna just start off with layers of with this brush and stuff. So I'm gonna give the darkness, the little dark aspects and stuff with the brush as much as possible, as much as I can, a little blending. It's not as easy as they make it look on the gram and stuff. Like, I think I need like some like makeup type brushes, like some softer type brushes for what I'm trying to go for right now. So the tools do matter at the end of the day, but I know how to manipulate the Q-tip very good. So I'm going to go back to the Q-tip method, but I'm going to try to drop a first little base with this brush. So that's what I'm doing now, because it is going on smoothly, but I'm just gonna make it a little more even and darker with the Q-tip, because that's what I'm comfortable with. That's what I know how to work. So that's going to be that. Okay, I know Pac looking a little crazy right now, but let me try to get this going. Trying to give it some character right now, so I'm building up little shades and stuff. So Pac does look crazy as hell right now, man. But once I build up these different shades and things, it's gonna start to make sense. Cause he's looking very flat and look kind of like an alien or something. He look kind of like Kobe. Like, I'm not saying Kobe look like an alien or something, but he look more like Kobe than Pac or whatever. And then I don't have the mustache and everything. So whenever I put all those elements back in it, because I started off, I had a little light mustache, but like with blending, it kind of went away. So getting all this, he got like a little unibrow itch right here and stuff, but just a shadow. I'm gonna put like some little fine lines to like get the unibrow popping and stuff. A little a little extra to go under the shadow, because they got like a little extra darkness like under the shadow and stuff at the top. Like blending. More darkness by the eye. Goes underneath. Let's see. Get it up in here. I don't want to go overboard. I don't want to put anything too dark, because whenever you start getting into the charcoal and stuff, it'll be hard to erase a lot of things. So you want to go as light as possible. You rather add than take away. So, you see, I'm just darkening things up. I need to add a little bit more charcoal on the tip and stuff, but then I'd be nervous doing that, because like I don't want to go and make a spot too dark and stuff. That's whenever you start having problems. But we dip it and start off right here. Start off on the edge. So by the time I'm finishing darkening this, then I can move back into the places where I want darker. Because I want to do more by the nose and stuff that I think needs a little more attention. This cheekbone needs to go up a little bit more and stuff. This shade. You have another dark type shadow by the nose. Get that on that side as well. You see it coming together? And I'm self-taught. Man. I read a lot of books and stuff, but just trial and error. And I'll make mistakes while I'm doing stuff and just fix it on the go. Come up with methods as I'm doing it. Stuff like that. I'm gonna go back under the eye, because I want a few little parts to be a little darker. Start giving the eye a little more shade. The eye is one of the most important aspects of pictures. And a lot of people be, oh, I love your eyes. It look like they're looking at me and stuff. It's actually not that complex, especially whenever you in a certain size art. Like this is like 11 by 15, 15 by 11, something like that. So with the eye, you really don't need to do like super stuff in the middle. Like as far as the outer edge, I see like it's kind of dark. Like they have some darkness. It's not like you can't see the white of the eye is not like white. It's like has a little shade to it. So we're gonna do that. So it's not like white. Gonna do that. He has some long eyelashes. So that's going to be something I'm going to have to mess with. But the eyeball itself, like, ooh, this is so immaculate and this and that. I promise you, it is not all that special. Watch the eyeball work. This is how you do the eyeball, and to make it look spectacular. He black, so our eyes, they don't have like as much, like as far as like some blue eyes or hazel eyes or anything like that. So pretty much you don't have to put the pupil in all that kind of stuff, because you can't see all that in the reference photo. You see black? In, ooh, this eye is nothing spectacular. What? Why? Will it become looking like something? Watch. Simple, simple, simple. I usually wait to do this kind of like last, but I wanted to show y'all in live action. And so look, it's black. Try and make it a little more black. Smooth it out. Get on the outer rim of it, because I want it to not look as crisp. I want the outer rim of the eye to look a little bit blurry-esque. I might go back and make the eye a little bit darker. But I just want to show you. In the eyelashes, they will bring another element to the eye. But you see that? And what's going to make the eye pop is this. That's what brings the eye to a whole nother level. To where people be like, "Oh, your eyes, look, ooh." That right there takes the eye to a whole different level. And then they got little small things like the little highlights. And I really don't want to mess with this too much, because I still got to put the eyelashes and stuff. So, what? The little highlights around the eye. That's what makes the eye stand out. Little things like that. Still at it. He's still looking kind of alien-esque. I think whenever I add the mustache and stuff, that's gonna change. So let me start adding this mustache, man, to try to get this crazy looking brother off the page and try to bring Pac into the picture.
There's a lot of good championships that I've enjoyed watching, but I think, you know, as an Ohio native, I don't think many will compare to seeing.
Okay, now we cooking with fish grease. Now we looking like a little something. I'm pretty much done with this project, but they have little small things I'm going to do, like as far as like small highlights on the eyebrows, like make it seem like the hairs, like a few of the hairs with reflection and stuff. So gonna do that. A few little dots, specks, and etc. Do it on the other side. Okay, and then after we do that, then we try to blend them in, try to make them not stand out as much, but just be in there. So we go over that slightly. Bunch of little small little tips and tricks. That's little shit. Let me see. I might want a few little to stand out. Okay, now little small things to do. Let's see, I'm gonna do this with charcoal. A few little small specks and like dots and stuff as far as like skin texture. So tedious stuff. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do some more with it with a pencil, so it won't be as dark. But I'm gonna do some more of that, and then we're gonna come back and I'm gonna show you the finished product. Okay, so here is the finished work. Done. What y'all think? What y'all think? So you seen like I did a few little things, a few little tips, tricks. That is the way I do things. Something else I will do, see the original picture, see this one. Something else I'm gonna do, I'm gonna black this out. I'm gonna black the outside out. So before I start filming, I was a little early with it, but I'm gonna black the outside out so it can be similar to this. So, but that's all the important things. Hopefully you enjoyed, man. I know this probably gonna be long as shit, but yeah. Like, comment, subscribe, go be the greatest and most hated. Holla at your boy.